And we are back here on Real Ag Radio, here on Roll Radio 147, Sirius XM for the Farmer Rapid Fire, brought to you by Pioneer Seeds Canada. And speaking of Pioneer, we're joined right now by Gerda Dalton, who is a Pioneer agronomist, and she is in the Peace River region of Alberta. Hey, Gerda, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, first time.
It is, yes.
Well, welcome. It is great to be able to chat with you. So you're in the Peace region. Whereabouts?
I'm located in Grand Prairie, but yeah, my region's quite large. It goes up to 6 hours north from where I'm located and spans probably about 3 hours east to west from where I am. So,
Wow. Now,
yeah.
I was in Grand Prairie back in the kind of as we were transitioning out of winter into maybe more spring, and you had a lot of snow at that time. What are the crops looking like right now?
It's really variable. In the South Piece, things are more dry. Guys, we're going quite a bit earlier. We would probably have some good cabbaged out canola already down there. Whereas if you're headed more to the north, specifically Hawk Hills, Cleardale County, areas like that, they had so much snow that they did not start any seeding until after mid-May. So some areas even just had to float on canola in the end, just so that we could get going.
Yeah.
So it's just very, very different depending on what region you're in.
And if one of the things, each province has their own trials and tribulations. There's good spots, bad spots. Um, have you been getting any heat? Because that seems to be quite elusive in Alberta right now.
It has been, like Grand Prairie specifically. Last weekend we had a couple of days of heat, but then right after that we went back into cool temperatures and some cloudy, rainy days. So, definitely heat is what we need right now.
Yeah, and we've heard from different producers. We had a producer on from Manitoba last week who talked about flea beetle. Flea beetles were really high pressure. Have you been seeing that in your region this spring?
I've actually been seeing the opposite. It's really strange. We always have really high flea beetle pressure. I don't know if it's because we're getting in the field later than we have been the last few years. But I was walking fields that were going into second leaf and not a single flea beetle in sight. There has been some other fields that did have a bit, but low pressure, and it's just actually really unusual for us here.
Yeah, because what's kept that pressure away? Is there any reason for that, or just it's one of those years?
That's a good question. I don't know if it is just one of those years. Definitely, like our crops going in the ground later. They went into warmer soils, they're growing faster. So they grow through that critical stage quicker. But at the same time, I don't know if our early, we had a lot of frost before the snow fell. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, that they didn't overwinter as well, or I'm not definitely not sure on the real reason, but all those things together probably have something to do with it.
Yeah, and so this recent rain that the area has been getting here in the last 4 or 5 days, that's going to, I guess, how far does that get us? Will we be begging for moisture in 2, 3 weeks again, or I guess just try to get a sense of where we're at from a moisture perspective.
That definitely depends on where you are. Like in the South Piece, in 2, 3 weeks, we definitely will need some more rain. We've been just dry for, I'd say, almost 5 years. The drought was quite extreme last year, and we were, once the snow was gone, we were dry quite quickly again in the spring. So definitely South Peace, we will be needing more rain, but other areas, like if you're going to High Prairie or north of Manning, those areas where they've had a lot of rain, they definitely are sufficient for a little while here. They could use a little break so they can get out and spray their crops and get
Yeah.
things done. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been the other thing that I've heard from a few people in different areas is, and we like to complain in agriculture, so we might as well complain about the wind, because that is not conducive to getting a lot of spraying done. Have you been seeing wind, or has it been rather calm?
Yeah, definitely lots of wind. As soon as the rain stops, it seems like the wind comes. So it's been pretty relentless that way. Yeah,
Makes it difficult.
it does for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure at this time of the year you're kind of seeing your customers, the seasons just sort of stack up, or within the season it sort of stacks up. They overlap in some cases. We're going to see a lot of people spraying here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and actually I would say the number one question I have received in the last week is like, how close can we push together our spray windows for second pass?
Hmm.
Things like that, just because guys are getting concerned that they might not get that second pass on.
Yeah, any tips or thoughts on what they need to be considering in regards to that question?
Definitely you don't want to push it too close together. Ideally you'll have 12 to 14 days in between for sure. Just because any perennials, larger weeds, ones that will start to grow again, they need that recovery time. If you're just targeting little tiny annuals, yes, you'll get those, but it's just definitely recommended to have that time in between to let the field recover. Not necessarily the crop itself, but the weeds and everything else that we're targeting.
Well, Gerda, thanks a lot for joining us here today on the Farmer Rapid Fire. I'm sure we will talk to you a little bit later on in the growing season.
Thanks.